We're looking for the next big player off the waiver wire, and there are not many lottery ticket stashes at the wide receiver position, especially when it comes to young players that could crash out on us on the back half of the season. Chimere Dike is one of those players everybody's got questions about. He's one of the top trending players on Sleeper right now. He's looking electric right now, but he's on the Titans. We're going to deep dive him here today. The good, the bad, the ugly, so you can make your decision on whether or not to pick him up for your fantasy football team. Before you get into, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going deeper than anybody else when it comes to talking about the waiver wire. On top of that, we're doing these deep dives every day. Multiple a day. We did 2 yesterday. We're probably going to do 2, 3, 4, 5 today, a bunch tomorrow. Keep pumping that out so you make your decisions. We're going to help you set your lineups by looking at every single matchup this week, next week, and every week going forward. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. He is the #1 trending player right now in Sleeper behind the Detroit Lions defense. Everybody's searching him. People are picking him up. And he's seeing a lot of movement out there in the fantasy football streets. So there's questions out there. People are seeing what's up with DK. And you're looking at what he's done the last 2 weeks. That's why. 16 points in each of the last 2 weeks. Got a touchdown week 7. Blew up with 7 catches, 93 yards. Last week, on 8 targets, 89% snap share. We had Ridley out. We got some opportunities here, and we took advantage of them. And there are some interesting parts of his prospect profile, how he fits with this team and Cam Ward. That's going to be interesting and rather juicy. You better stick with me so you can see those details. Tyler Lockett's gone. He's gone. This is going to give him an opportunity to step up, earn more of a role, and prove himself throughout the year. Former 4-star recruit / 3-star recruit, depending on when you looked at the recruiting sites or what site you were looking at. Wisconsin, Iowa State, Iowa. Noted teams that were after him. We land with Wisconsin, though. The counting stats were never there. Market share-wise, as you will see here soon, he was pretty dominant with these teams. But look at the average depth of target. 13.6 on his career, above 14 every season except for one. He's a deep ball dandy. A deep ball dandy is great for fantasy football because if you bring in that one big catch, boom, you got a big performance. If you bring in 2, you're cashing out for the week. We work out of the slot. There's not many deep ball dandies out there that operate out of the slot. That makes him a massive mismatch nightmare with them linebackers, safeties, nickel corners, because you got wide receivers on the outside. Also, they got to contend with, and also he's moved around the slot area. So this is a wide receiver here that has some specs here that's a little bit different compared to other slot wide receivers that also is very salivating for fantasy football production. Not overly dominant, not in passing offenses that allows him to showcase his skill set. Blew up against Northwestern, Illinois State. Did some things with Florida and DJ Lagway, a freshman quarterback last year. But we took ownership of these offenses. We broke up with 2 different collegiate programs. Now he doesn't have a very early breakout age. We're not breaking out at age 19, age 18. The prerequisite of being a top flight wide receiver in fantasy football for years and years and years. So that's saying we're not going to be Justin Jefferson. It's a prerequisite. It doesn't mean all early breakouts hit. Mainly it says all hits, mainly, mostly, usually has early breakouts. Not all of them. Some of them don't break out at the college level and still hit. But odds-wise, he's not Justin Jefferson. That's what that says. But it also says this guy can dominate an offense, be the #1 pass catcher. He's done that with 2 different collegiate programs. It also says that there's a chance that we can develop into something in the league because we can go from team to team and produce. We can be a leader in that wide receiver depth chart, that wide receiver room. And there's potential for that 4-3, 40-yard dash used in the slot. Not many wide receivers in the league operate out of the slot with that burst score, with that speed score, all in elite territory. 6'1", 196, good size, top tier catch radius. So you can use this guy all over the place. Deep downfield, out of the slot, you can move him around. You can drag him out. You can send him over the middle. You can take him deep. He is very functional. He's very diverse. You're also looking at the macro stats over the whole season. 11.9% target share, 8 out of 9.4. He's ramping up. He's ramping up. He's heating up. First read targets and first read target share. 11 first read targets on the season. I'm not expecting that to be super high unless he starts to get really juicy and taken over, because he's operating out of the slot. And typically, considering we don't have any alphas here yet, and considering we got a rookie quarterback, things might be pre-snap, high to low, low to high. However, it is functional, whatever the system is or the play's called at that moment, whatever the defense is called. Typically, the slot's not your first read unless it has to be because of what's being showed. But that target separation, it came out weird because I got water in my mouth, but 9th among wide receivers, 2.09. We're creating separation. That is proof that we are a mismatch nightmare. That speed is holding up in the slot. What he's doing is holding up in the slot. You might see other teams trying to replicate this down the line because that's holding up. And you got Alec Manor. Remember, he put Travis Hunter in a blender. That Stanford and Colorado game. Lit him up like a Christmas tree. Calvin Ridley is there too. But Alec Manor, he's had some moments there. He's leading team in first read targets. He's getting targeted fairly well every single game. I think he's a good route runner. I think he'd be great with a stud wide receiver next to him. I think with that addition, with Dike there starting to emerge, that could be nasty. That could help Cam Ward a lot. That could elevate this offense. A stud in his prime or a stud that's ramping up that you just drafted right next to an Alec Manor. I think that could be a nasty tandem of wide receivers. Remember, put Travis Hunter in a blender. Good market share stats out of college, out of Stanford. Good route running, creates separation well. Calvin Ridley, his time is up. He's 30 years old. He was volatile last year. He was a good money ball play last year for fantasy football, but not a top-tier option. This year, in and out of lineup, he's had a little bit of moments, but he's been a bust this year. And you're looking at the slot rates, routes out of the slot, DK's winning it. He should win it. That's where he's programmed to be at. 73 routes out of the slot, 124 snaps out of the slot, just killing the other wide receivers. That's his role. Really, he's not going to impact that. He might impact targets, but he's not going to impact that. If he gets thrusted more out on the field when he comes back, and they're looking at the target share, targets per game, and this is on the whole season, 3.1 targets per game on the season versus the other wide receivers, Alec Manor and Ridley, who are each getting 5. ADOTs are solid with all the wide receivers. Cam Ward is pushing it downfield. He is pushing it. He is being very aggressive. Everybody's in double digits except for DK. But we're going to cover the last 2 games because those metrics have changed with the workload. As you see it right here, DK has an 8 out of 10.2 over the last 2 games on 12 targets, leading the team with 163 yards, 11 balls caught, second line in targets, 17% target share, and he's starting to earn more volume in the offense with Ridley out, getting more opportunities. That's solid. That's solid. He's stepping up. He is stepping up, taking advantage of his opportunities. That's what good players do. They get the opportunity, they take it over, they do well with it. It's not like, oh, they did it because they got this opportunity. They get the opportunity, they take over, they do something with it. And 122 air yards in those 2 games, 148 for Alec Manor, 6 balls caught, 81 yards, 13 targets. He's got a 19% target share, 11.4 ADOT. If Alec Manor can get that target share up to around 22% and keep that ADOT, he's going to splash a little bit more. And DK's got the potential to splash on any given Sunday with how he's being utilized because Cam Ward likes to target the short to intermediate over the middle, technically where the routes are ran by the slot. You saw that with Restrepo last year. That's what he did at Miami last year. That's where he likes to target. That's where he likes to go. That's where DK is going. That is where DK is going. So he fits well with what Cam Ward naturally does. And he can get you that yak, and you can push it downfield because Cam Ward wants to push it downfield as well. He will get aggressive with it. He will extend the play out and try and push it downfield. Sometimes it's funny to watch. Sometimes it is. But you're also seeing a ramp up in his passing yardage. We don't need him to fire in all the analytics. We don't need him to be a pretty quarterback. We don't need him to be Peyton Manning right now. He can have his rookie ramp up. We just need him to pump out the yards. And that's what he's doing right now. Since week 5, he has hit over 250 yards 3 out of his last 4 games. And prior to that, he hit under 120 yards twice in his first 4 games. That is something to note. You're seeing the ramp up. If this continues, you're going to see some of these wide receivers fire because you're getting more volume, more yards in the offense, and things are opening back up, which is good for DK because he's going to Donkey Kong if we can start getting up to that 275 to 300 range. You're looking at these defenses we're going up against. When I think about this, I think of the Titans. I don't think there's ever going to be a great matchup for them. Just look at all those L's. I think I'm going to look at the targets, the opportunity, the speed, the matchup. I look at him as a lottery ticket throw for the flex right now until things clear up more. If he keeps being consistent, like we get another game, maybe we start going off and on with it, then yeah, I'm going to start thinking about him more. If I'm hurt at flex, then maybe. Most often, you got something there that you're probably going to roll with because it's safer. It's not the Titans. It's not Cam Ward right now. Nothing really against him. He's a rookie and he's doing rookie things. But you're looking at these matchups, some of them aren't advantageous for great workflow. Like you look at that Browns game down there, the Jaguars. It's starting to get a little rougher. But still, that lends the notion that a slot wide receiver might get added opportunities as you got to work through your checkdowns. Why you need him? Lottery ticket with some shine on it right now. A rookie showing some upside here. Starting to expand his role. Starting to do some things on the field. You got that slot volatile upside there. I mean, volatility, that boom-bustness of a player here, that when you start to ramp it up a little bit, that's something you're going to want. You don't need him because he's a Titan. You don't trust that. You're good. You're good at flex. You don't need another headache added to that. But if you're bottom third in your league, why not? Or if you're looking at this as a shiny lottery ticket, as an asset, like Bitcoin, cash, oil, metals, whatever you're thinking of, then you can identify the type of asset he is for fantasy football, scheme around him with your lineups and your bench, utilize him appropriately before he starts to show himself a little bit more. Maybe we get some more consistency. Maybe we get some boom and bust play. Right now, I got him identified as a shiny lottery ticket that's starting to get a little buzz. I think he's going to be volatile because that's what the Titans have shown. Now he's starting to step up. He's starting to ramp up. I think he can be like number 2, number 3 in this offense long term when it comes to targets. I think he's got upside for a lot of splash plays. I want to see that materialize a little bit more. I think he's great as an ad, as a shiny lottery ticket. Nothing more right now, but you can gamble with them in the flex if you want. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.